So there's 24 hours. So what, you got a 1 hour video and 60 minutes, and every minute is like a new clip of the sun. But you know what? Like I understand what you're trying to do, but honestly, I don't have a visual of what it would look like. But it sounds really cool, and I'd like to, because it hasn't been done yet, right? I haven't seen that shit. But like, obviously, I mean, I have a bunch of, I have a bunch of, I'm a solar analemma and lunar analemma fan. When I was a, yeah, well, during daylight, yeah. Well, when I was growing up, I had a map. I had a map in my room, and it had the solar analemma on it, and I remember it. So, yeah. Okay, so we're talking about we're talking about satanic scientism. Okay, what is scientism? Which is fake science, which is only one is D Marble up in Alaska, the sun is another set. Yeah, well, you know what? D Marble, yeah, I mean, he's doing some great work, and it's like to deny, right? Like my big proof that I like to work is being up in a plane because, okay, like from the perspective, the way that shamans are supposed to teach people is not by saying this is the way the world is. This is how it is, and this is how what your reality is. Okay, that is not what the shamanistic arts. It's not what you're supposed to tell them. It's like, yeah, you learn a lot about what the shamans do, but the function of the shaman is to show people the reality of this world by putting it in front of them and opening the door and go ahead, you go through it. And you decide what your own reality is. This is what shamanism is. That's why they need people like me to bring people into the flat earth truth, because it's too freaky and scary, okay? Another function of shamans are that we are the bridge between this world and the spirit world, okay? So when we talk about ayahuasca, we bring it up a lot. And why I'm talking about this, because Tulsa, it was important for my friend Tulsa to understand that, you can't just ask all these questions about flat earth and want to know why is science satanic and scientism, but don't talk about Satan or the devil, because I don't believe in it. Yeah, I know, Robert. That's the thing, Robert. I'm a psychedelic shaman. And it all ties into flat earth and reptilians and the Mayans down here. And the flat earth headquarters, Mayan Riviera. Okay, well, Rob, let's talk about one thing at a time here. So you want to talk about how the sun never sets. So Robert here is telling us the sun never sets in Alaska, which is near the north. So the North Pole, the sun never sets, right? And he's right. It's because you can go right now, go onto YouTube and type in Alaska, sun never setting, and then you can see the fast feed time-lapse video of the sun passing through the horizon like this. Up and down, like this, up and down. And then it never gets dark because it never goes below the horizon, right? Because it doesn't go far enough away out of your vision. And that's all the sun is doing. It's not setting or going down anywhere. It's moving. The sun moves. It's small, it's local, it's inside our sky. It can be in between clouds. There can be a cloud behind the sun and a cloud in front of the sun. Yeah, Daryl's video, it dips and comes back up. Paul Allen. Oh yeah, right. I'd like you. I'd like you. I'd like you to explain how Jesus would have responded with Craig in that situation. Okay, because a lot of people think Jesus was a bitch, and he wasn't. He was a psychedelic warrior shaman, just like myself. Jesus was a healer. He was a medicine man. Okay? He had magic oils that cured leprosy, that cured all skin disease and everything. Okay? If you're trying to say that this Craig guy has manners and I don't, then you also don't have manners. And the people that you keep around your table, you let them interrupt you, okay? And you must be an arguing interrupter yourself, okay? Because you're absolutely right. Shamans are peaceful people who I do care for others more than myself, okay? And I can show that to you and prove that to you right now, okay? I pay for people in the hospital when I don't have money for myself down here in Mexico. I just paid 6,000 US to put my friend to peace because he had cancer and he had no one else to do. Okay. Paul Allen, do you know why I talk over him? Because he starts it every time. I am not an interrupter. He is an interrupter. Okay. So the way that it works, and I'm glad you brought this up because I'm actually talking about, we're going over the debate. So I specifically gave him my term. Okay. I specifically gave him my term. Maybe Jesus did not walk on water. Maybe that's a hoax, Robert. But my terms, Paul Allen, were that, you know what, I'll debate you, but I know you won't be able to debate me with respect and not be able to interrupt and talk over me. You're going to do that. And he goes, oh, of course I would never do that. Those are the terms and rules of professional debating. And I go, oh, really? Okay, well, then let's do it. And sure enough, as soon as I get into like talking 30 seconds, 1 minute into what I'm talking about, to responding to his points, he cuts me off every time and say, "Oh, you're getting off topic here," and then starts arguing and then arguing his point. And it's like, hey man, that's not what a debate is. You're not allowed to interrupt and cut the guy off before he's finished his points, because the three points and topics, the three things I'm talking about before I pull them together, they're not going to make any sense to a globe head, or they're only making sense to people that are flat earthers already. So in order for any of it to make sense, I can't be interrupted and cut off without pulling the points and connecting all the dots in the last 2 minutes that I said. So if I can't talk for 1 minute straight, and at the end you're like, okay, so this is how it all makes sense, okay? Then Paul Allen, then I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let him control me, and I'm going to pipe up and talk over him because he's the rude interrupter who's not letting me finish communicating my point. And if anyone here says, no, Tulsa, and that's why I blocked you, because you know you're probably, you and your family are a bunch of rude interrupters too. I'm just saying that because you're a rude interrupter yourself, and I'm calling you out for that. And you call me a straw man for that. And it's like, you know what, rude interrupters, you're a kind of person, okay? And it's just that kind. It's that person. What's up, Dave? I'm talking about rude interrupters, Dave. Okay? And when you're a rude interrupter, that kind of person that just never grew out of it. You never grew out of it. We all have teenage and childhood behaviors. And a lot of us grow out of them, and some of us don't, okay? And when you, like Craig, FTFE, Tulsa, I blocked you for being a globehead, swearing, being rude, and not responding to anything that I said in the past, okay? No, Paul Allen, it's not. See, you're getting off. You're pushing it again. So you're telling me, hey, how come you're calling yourself a shaman, but you're supposed to be nicer and not act like what I was acting, okay? And you know what? You're 100% right. But you know what? Shamans. You know what? Also, shamans are. The debates are posted. You can pull it up, okay? Paul and Robert. They're funny because the first one, I was at a birthday party and I got drunk, and I wasn't going to sell out either one because I promoted the flat earth debate, and I was also not going to sell out my best friend across the street sends fish tacos to me 2-3 times a week to my door. Okay. And sometimes like way better stuff. It's the fresh Mariscaria across the street. Okay. Fish restaurant. So basically, Paul Allen, the way that it works is I don't behave until I'm provoked. So basically, until somebody starts misbehaving with me in communication, I won't raise my voice, I won't swear, and I won't yell, and I definitely won't start like calling you up for what you are and what you're doing. Okay? Exactly, but you know what, Robert? The fact that I was drunk the other night and it was a full moon and I couldn't, and I wasn't about to quit it out, and I was at a birthday party across the street where my buddy gets his head smashed into the birthday cake and we're dancing with kids on the dirt floor. Okay, my buddy starts fucking doing running somersaults. Okay, I start doing a headstand. Like, you know what I mean? I came from that, and then so I'm a little bit hyper, and then all of a sudden this guy wants to cut me off. He's like, okay, you know what he told me? He goes, you get 2 minutes to introduce yourself, and then you get 10 minutes to debate, and then we get to go back and forth. Okay, 5 minutes into my debate, like like 5 minutes into my presentation, starts interrupting and cutting on me off and arguing me. Right off the bat, he's doing what he swore he would not do. Okay. We had a 3-hour debate last night, and you're trying to tell me there's not enough time for me to finish my sentence, Paul Allen? That's making you look a little bit stupid if you agree with that, okay? So what you're saying, what I'm saying is, I'm not going to let some fucking titty bitch chump use his witchcraft on me to shut me up and my points and my talking points without yelling back at him and exposing his bullshit. It was an amazing party, man. And this guy he was my first friend in Mexico. I live on the beach, and across the street is a seafood restaurant, and this guy works the parking lot there for the most part, but he also runs the restaurant. And it's like, sometimes, you know who he is? He's my Wilson. He's my Wilson. I wasn't acting like a child until Craig started interrupting me, okay? And he thinks that thank you, Paul. He thinks that he thinks that, and I was warned that there's no point of fighting Craig because he's just going to lie and interrupt and not be fair. And I was like, okay, well, let's do it anyways because I can do it. I can go toe to toe with people like this and get angry and mad with them. If they want to take me there, then it's going to be a closed door where it's going to be me yelling over top of their words until they let me communicate my point out. Communication was when two people have find a common ground, okay? One person here, the other person here. We're supposed to find a common ground to talk on. When one person's talking and the other person wants to talk over them, not let them finish, that means he's stealing that common ground away. Communication means means listening to what one person has to say and then responding. Okay? Bradley, the story is that I'm in the middle of a 3-round debate with this Craig from Fight the Flat Earth. And last night I was on a 3-hour debate with him when he's just acting like a complete fool, childish, rude moron. Okay? Like I was told he would. And so we're on a debate, and as soon as he doesn't like what I'm saying, or he doesn't want me to finish my points because it's making too much sense and it's killing his argument, he cuts me off and accuses me of getting off point, and then he tries to force in his opinion when I haven't even finished my paragraph. So every single time, like I'm about to pull my points together at the end of my 2-minute segment, he interrupts, cuts me off, and confuses everyone so that they can't follow me anymore. Do you see how that works? And so that's why I call him out for being a witch, because this is witchcraft. This is dark arts. This is dark neuro-linguistic hypnotism. This is covert black magic, right? When you're using you're using a mind power over somebody else to control an outcome when you know they're trying to come to one outcome and you're trying to come to another, and you're doing whatever you can to shut that person up. That's not communication, right? And so why is he a witch? Is because he's lying about it, and he's fooling people into thinking that I'm the interrupter that's misbehaving, even though all I'm doing is standing up for my own segment, my own speech, my own paragraph. My dad used to say when people interrupt him, he just hold up his finger and go, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me," until they stop talking. And then they go, "What?" He goes, "I was talking." Okay? Thank you. So when I really have no time for people who think that and say that if I don't interrupt you and cut you off, then you're never going to finish. That is the biggest cop out, like rude, interrupting witchcraft move there is. Okay, when you want to talk, when you're talking about debates and controlling what the person says, I know we all know that. We all have people. It is. I know. Exactly, right? So it's like, you know, if you want to like have a good conversation, sure, make fun of me creatively. Like, you know what, like whatever, like Carlos and Tulsa, like, you know, sometimes they say some funny stuff. Like, I mean, Tulsa barely ever, right? But like, that's why I keep Carlos around, because like even when he's not being funny, at least he looks funny. You know what I'm saying? And Tulsa, I mean, that's the thing. He doesn't look funny, man. He just look fucking nasty. You know what I'm saying? Bang, boom, exactly. Look, this Craig from Fight the Flat Earth, he's made like $500 off debating me because his followers love me. They love the fact that, oh my God, there's actually somebody entertaining to listen to with sound effects that is calling this my channel master a fucking satanic, uh, a lying satanic titty bitch, and explaining exactly why I say that, breaking it down and saying why it is, right? And so Brad, this guy, Craig, Fight the Flat Earth, right? It's like, as soon as I started getting into stuff that he didn't want me to say, he just cut me off and then accused me of arguing and accused me of interrupting. And then his buddy who was meditating, then he'd do the same thing, but like, France, you're talking so much and you can't get to the point. And it's like, how do you say I'm talking so much, I'm getting off point when you cut me off after 30 seconds? You know what I mean? And so that's where the witchcraft is, because you don't see it. Their own followers don't see it. So the people that are at this level, this consciousness level where they have rude interrupters all around them every day in their lives, and it's a normal thing. Hold on a second. Water. Puta. I can't speak Spanish, Carlos. You gotta be kidding me. Dude, I've been living in Mexico for 10 years, man. Martini, what's up, bro? So, you know, this is what we're talking about, man. I'm saying. So, what I was just getting at right now, Dennis, I'm talking about how people control outcomes with in conversations and communication with neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, and covert witchcraft. Okay, why do I say witchcraft? Because it's literally black magic. Because there's a way to deal with it though when you're a great king. Of course, Robert. And you know what? Most people that were going to take on Craig FTFE, they were just, don't even bother, don't even bother. And I've seen other flat earthers go on that are a lot more chill than me. I mean, honestly, I'm not chill when I'm trying, like I'm chill all the time, like, but when it's time to not be chill, then I'm up there with the best of them, okay? And so when you're actually a flat earth warrior in Christ, you really have no fear anymore and don't give a fuck what people say. Do you think fucking Christ gave a fuck what people thought about him? Right? And that's the whole thing with Tulsa and Carlos. They're so worried about what people think of themselves because they because they're always trying to tell me, oh man, people they think you're an idiot and stuff. It's like, well, I don't care about myself. Why do you care? Right? No, no, honestly, I don't agree. I don't agree, Paul. Okay, and I mean, and I respect your comment, and a lot of people, by the way, have your view. Okay, so basically, when I took this debate, I took it, and I knew this guy was a clown in advance. Yeah, no, yeah, no, no, Sean. Yeah, I was just talking about Paul Allen. I was just talking about how I have the thickest skin out of anyone I know. Okay, if you really want to be a shaman, you might need to have thicker skin. No, man, that's the thing, man. I wasn't at the debate because I have thin skin. Yes, I know, but Paul, yeah, hey, Paul, I think you're cool, man. I'm just explaining what's going on. The thing is most people they can't handle assholes like this guy Craig from Fight the Flat Earth because he is such a lying, manipulating bastard. They don't have it in them to stay on the stream with him. Okay, you watch other flat earthers is they hate him. He's known as the worst one of them all because he's a complete liar and manipulator. And when he doesn't like what you're saying, he interrupts you and argues you and then mutes you. That's what he was doing to me all night last night. As soon as he didn't hear what I had to say, he fucking cut me off and mute me. Right? Is that what a debate's about? And it's like, he's such like this guy. Literally, I had to start making fun of his bitch tits because like he started. He's like he got personal with me in the PM for no reason. So I started making fun of his bitch tits. So that's why I call him. He's the fucking he's the pit bitch witch. And so Robert and Paul. Of course, Bradley. I know. So Robert and Paul. Okay, Paul. Let me first of all get back to you, Paul. I am no angel as far as the conventional view of what an angel should be down here, okay? And I don't think Jesus was either, okay? Like, think about it. If he was going around talking to, like, I'm not doing anything different than what he was doing. People hated his ass. They wanted to kill his ass everywhere he goes. Nobody wants to really kill me for talking flat earth. They want to fucking kill his ass. Okay, I'm just talking flat earth, bro. So, Paul, when you see Rob, when you guys see me, Tulsa, Carlos, when you guys see me taking on a lying, manipulative witch like this Fight the Flat Earth guy, the reason why I pipe up and start yelling and arguing with him is because he's the one that's doing it to me. And either I let him shut me up and control the output, control the conversation, like the communication, what I'm allowed to say to the people, then I shut up and let him talk. That there's two options. Either I let him interrupt me and shut up. What's up, Brad Green? We're talking about last night's debate with Craig Flight the Flat Earth, right? And I'm talking to some people say, hey, you know what? You're acting a little bit rough for being like a shaman and representing the flat earth. But it's like I'm saying, well, of course, Paul, I would love to. And just so you know, that was my first live. This is my first live, right? Honestly, I'm a very, very nice guy. I'm a gentleman. You know, and what was the definition of gentleman? Always make sure that everyone around him is as comfortable as possible in the room. Okay. So what was going on there? How come? Well, I wouldn't act like a gentleman when I'm talking to Greg on the stream, because a gentleman would be removing a non-gentleman from the room. And that's exactly what I was doing. I was removing him from the room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we were actually in a real debate, he wouldn't have been allowed to interrupt me and shut me up like that, right? So at this debate, I am the only one that can stand up for myself when someone's talking over me and shutting me up like that. And I just so happen to have the skills because my dad taught me how to be a warrior and to communicate with people even when they're talking bullshit. And it's like, on top of that, Paul, thank you. Yeah. On top of that, Flat Ferdinand, the whole character is based on kicking Globetard ass and taking out the garbage. That is why Flat Ferdinand is how I became Flat Ferdinand, okay? So Flat Ferdinand did just not show up today or yesterday. Flat Ferdinand has been in my mind for like 6 months. The name every day says, "You are Flat Ferdinand. You are Flat Ferdinand." I'm like, okay, this is crazy shit. Like, I know, like, I'm a shaman and I can talk to like dead people and shit, but this is fucked up. I am not Flat Ferdinand, but no, I am Flat Ferdinand now. Sure, sure. You know what, Robert? I know about tonality and pause and escalation and stuff like that. Sure. And let's talk about with Craig the Flat Earth because because the debate. Well, you know what? I got piped up and arguing and yelling at first, but my tonality and all that, everything was fine until he starts pulling his witchcraft bullshit and cutting me off and trying to shut me up. Okay? If you try to shut me up or interrupt me, then I say, "Hey, excuse me, I'm talking right now. Can you wait till I'm finished?" And then, "Oh, yeah, okay." And then it keeps happening. And then, yeah, I talk to dead people. By the way, if any of you want to talk, like, for example, I'm going to tell you what else, a little bit more about me. I am a psychic medium. Okay? So when you're an indigo and you're also a shaman, uh, and you have native blood, which I do, that helps. I don't know what it is. You don't have to have native blood, but I just noticed if you have native blood, okay, you're just a little bit more connected to this kind of shit. All right? You go and ask the natives or the aboriginals, okay, just whatever, right? But hey, Robert, your approach may work for you, and my approach will work for me. What I'm saying is when someone, what do you mean, due to my spirits about what? What I'm talking about, if somebody tries to control the conversation by interrupting me, I ask them to stop interrupting me politely 3 times, and on the third time, I raise my voice and I say, "Hey, man, you can't talk and shut me up. It's my turn to talk now." And from now on, if you interrupt me and talk over me, I'm gonna chew you out and yell at you. And if you're going to continue doing that, either the conversation's over or we're going to have a yelling match, okay? And that's where my superpowers kick in. Most people are just going to go, freak out or click off. But I'm going to stay on there and I'm going to play their game with them. But they're not going to be ready for what I have to bring. Just like he wasn't ready for what I had to bring, like exposing him for witchcraft, covert hypnotism, which is what he's trying to do. He's cutting me off, telling people that I'm the interrupter. And even with Paul, okay, sure. Paul Allen, you know what we found out the sound of the speaker and the speaker. Exactly. Brad, he was muting me. Like, and everybody told me that he would do that. And in the comments, people were like, "Oh my God, he's resorting to muting again." You know what I mean? So Paul, okay, so in the traditional sense of a shaman, because I know I'm not a traditional shaman, that's why I put my skateboard there. I call myself a skateboard shaman, just so that we can bring in the two worlds together, the modern world with the archaic revival of our ancestors, okay? So Tulsa, tonight is not going to happen for you, like that evidence and facts, okay? You can go back, like tonight's topics is psychedelic shamanism, me becoming Flat Ferdinand, the FTFE debate commentary, and the Flat Earth Q&A, okay? So I've asked lots of your questions. Okay. So I'm asking other people's questions now. So I'm going to answer Paul's next question because he's asking what is a shaman in the true sense. He's asking what my definition of. He would like to know what my idea of a traditional shaman is. Okay. So what I generally tell people is, like, if you're coming from Western civilization, from the city, then generally this is what I thought before. What's up, Jen? This is what I thought about what a shaman. The only thing I had the idea of what a shaman was before was what you see on TV sometimes, and it's like, oh, we're going into they're going into the jungle doing a documentary of this remote tribe that's never had human contact, and they show like these like basically half naked people dancing around like a fire pit in the middle of the night, chanting weird stuff, blowing like these little mini flutes. Okay. And then the shaman comes dancing around. He's just wearing like a loincloth or whatever. And he's like blowing tobacco on your face with a mask on and stuff. And this literally this is controlled opposition. Yeah, I like to say medicine man too. The thing is, Brad, is we're not there yet. You see, obviously you're way ahead. So I'd say the Western civilization view of what a shaman is like what's this pre-civilization, pre-modern medicine man, like Brad said, this guy dancing around and he's a medicine man, but he's scaring. You know what they say? Oh, you know why he's wearing the mask? Because he's trying to scare people into being healthy. Okay, good riddance, Tulsa. Tulsa, thank you, because honestly, you're annoying tonight. You're annoying every day. You're annoying before I block you for 6 months, and you're probably going to be annoying tomorrow. And I can't wait to get you on a live stream so I can fucking chew you and your beard and the fucking eagle family that lives in your beard family out. Have a good night. And like I said, you guys want to know why I'm a fucking fire-tongued shaman? Because we are warriors, okay? And if I'm not fire-tongued, then I might as well not even be doing what I'm doing. A lot of people, they're asking me, Robert, you're asking me, why are you even doing it then? Why are you even doing it then? Robert's asking me, why are you even debating this guy? Yeah, Tulsa and I, yeah, me and Tulsa have been going back for a long time. Okay, that's why, and Carlos. And so what Flat Ferdinand does is he keeps things entertaining by we make fun of people. Okay, globe heads, they tell you stupid idiot and what, and it wears on me. So I'm not allowed to poke back at them. Right? There has to be back and forth. When a globe head tells, hey, you fucking stupid flat earth idiot, I'm not just going to take it. I'm going to fire back, okay? And that's what it is. And if we don't know what to say, and the globe hitters is going to be like, oh, told you so. He's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Well, Robert, like I said, you know what, Robert? Many people do not have to be fire tongue, and I don't have fire tongue, man. I'm not dropping f-bombs and all that. Look, right now, this is off record. This is just going live with my friends. I'm allowed to drop a little bit of f-bomb. I'm not getting mad at nobody right now or anything like that. But when I talk fire tongue against the devil, well, what the fuck, man? You're not gonna fight fire with fire, and that's why I am who I am, because I can harness the fire that the devil harnesses to fight off the devil. So sometimes, yeah, I get pipe up and get real fucking mad and I'm gonna bitch with them, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, if you're gonna cut me off, I'm just gonna yell at whoever I'm debating until they shut up or learn their lesson or give me the respect. Before I got really dirty with Craig in this, I politely asked them to stop interrupting 3-4 times, and then I started lecturing them on, hey, we're going to have a respectable debate. You can't be treating me like this. It's unfair. And after half an hour, 45 minutes, then I start yelling and saying stuff, because the reason why I referred to Craig as being a titty bitch, first of all, he deserved that. I warned him. I said, hey, you know what? You're getting really personal. You don't have to say this kind of stuff. Can you just leave me alone until the debate? And he's all like, oh no, I like pissing you off. Your mom left her purse on my table last night. And it's like, what? We were just in like a science debating forum, and we're now I've agreed to debate you, and now you've private messaged me telling me my mom left her purse on your table, right? And you guys are asking me how come how come I was talking like that, okay? And then so I already know this guy's like a piece of shit. What do you mean, Brad? I already that guy. That for example, your comment. What are we talking? Not crying. I'm just saying there are better ways to communicate. Look, Robert, there's always going to be your point of view. Of course, I mean, I was raised with people trying to, teaching me to communicate, being a little bit more calm and just being calm and only having my words. And as soon as someone interrupts you, you have no weapon against it. No, fuck that, dude. I was not raised like that, okay? Jesus was not raised like that either. He was. Think about how many times people try to talk over Jesus. You watch the movies, okay? You watch the movies, and it's just Jesus sitting there talking, everyone's shutting up when he talks. That's not the way it was. Whenever he talks to people, oh, shut the fuck up, throwing shit at him. Just like it's happening right now. And I've been warned about it all my life. Robert, that is not the real world that we live in. We cannot fight globe heads and shut up and let them interrupt us. A lot of us can. Not me. It's not like, oh, I can't if I wouldn't be here. If I was like that, I would not be doing this. If I was allowed to, yeah, if I assumed that, like, I would not, I would not be here doing that because globe heads are way too ego dominant. They're leading with their egos. They're not leading with fact or real science, and they just want to kind of like I'd say like half of them are just here to laugh and make fun of us, right? Where every single flat earther is here for the truth. You know what I mean? So I have my own rules and regulations. Once you interrupt me 3 times, and I warn you, okay, that's the 3rd time you interrupt me, and this is not the way it's going to go on. And then I go off on a big lecture, and then they go, oh, okay, stop talking, and I argue them for a bit, right? Give them their own taste of their own medicine. So I know some of you guys are wondering, how come you stoop to his level and you start behaving like him? And well, because I got to give him a taste of his own medicine. That's why. And then somebody say, oh, how come you talk to him and how come you're on that? Because you can't fight. You know what I mean? Like, sure, fight fire with fire a little bit, give him his own medicine. And then I'm going to fight fire with water. And that's why, I'll give you an example. Fighting the fire with water, okay, is when he lets me speak and I have my evidence and my proofs. He didn't let me present, okay? He goes off on an 1.5-hour long fake ISS photo where I'm supposed to be given my 10 minutes to present my evidence, and I haven't. And then he won't let me speak for an 1.5 hours about my evidence, and then he accused me of not presenting any evidence. Right? This is how big of a shithead he is. Like, I already know this in advance. So it's like, let's see what Paul's got to say. People from all over show out the remote islands here, they're able to be free and dancing and touching each other in spirituals. Yeah, that's cool. Exactly. I mean, there's different ways of communicating, Paul and Robert. And like the way Robert was talking, Robert, like I have lots of guys, flat earthers that are trying that say, hey man, that you can't get through to people the way you're doing. You can't just be like, be all like a maverick about it, and you know what I mean, and act like a cowboy, act like a model controller, this and that. Hey, but you know what? Like powerful spirits that are inhabiting my body. This Flat Ferdinand character, okay, this is nothing to pussyfoot around. Okay, this has been 2 years in the making, and it's like my whole life My whole life's accumulation and purpose and mission has come down to Flat Ferdinand. Yes, it is about getting through to them for me, Robert. Yeah. Let me answer your question, Robert. You're asking, well, if this guy is like that, then why are you even debating if he's going to make you have to stoop to his level? Okay. Well, I'm actually not stooping to his level because I'm just communicating on his level. Because like stooping to his level would have been exchanging mom jokes and not letting him finish his points and trying to control what he's saying, the amount of what he's saying. Oh, I don't like that area of what he's saying, so I'm gonna cut him off and mute him, and then do damage control, and then confuse everyone and make them forget about the points he was building on. Do you know what I mean? So that is. That's the thing. I'll have to check out your channel. My channel hasn't started yet. This is pretty much my first live about flat Earth and psychedelic shamanism. But I have a bunch of personal videos that I've been working on. I have been making videos for over 10 years, right? I never said stoop to his level. Right? No, you didn't say that. Of course. Thank you. Yeah, no, I didn't mean you said that. But I'm an embellisher to make points. You know, this is one thing you guys will know. So if I do get off point with a detail, just check me on it, and I'll admit I'm totally honest about everything I say. And you know what? I can be an asshole too, and that's the great thing. It's like if you're an honest asshole, you really don't have anything to hide, right? Just like my cousin Dennis in Germany says, he goes, "Yes, I am an asshole, but I'm a nice asshole," and both of them are the truth, you know. Robert, the last one that you joined went for like an hour and a half. Sure, I can post it. I don't know if the last one posted it. It was supposed to post. But basically, yeah. So what I'm saying is, you guys, look, I know it looks ugly, but I grew up watching my dad kind of do this to people to make them better people. Now, in the restaurant, I grew up watching my dad with all these employees, and then yeah, like I mean, he was totally he was kind of out of control. But you know, he's a good man, and all of his employees loved him even after he made them cry. He would never fire them, and they would never quit. But he'd make them cry, and they'd come back. It's Flat Ferdinand, Robert. I'm Flat Ferdinand on YouTube. Um, and I'm Flat Ferdinand on Facebook. I just started the profile, and I also have a Flat Ferdinand page. I'm just gonna be Flat Ferdinand. I mean, you're my friend. Exactly, my dad. If he was here right now, he would totally be a flat earther. He would not deny anything. He would look at all of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. So basically, what I'm saying is, these guys are saying, I am no pretty debater. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna abuse me and stuff, then I'm gonna abuse you back so that you don't get your way. And either the debate goes nowhere, or we have a respectful debate, right? So I don't let people interrupt and control and stuff like that. Like if you're friends and stuff and you're sitting around to interrupt, that's normal. But when you're actually like having a disagreement with someone and you're trying to figure something out, find solutions, and the other person talks over you, that's starting an argument. Okay? And then when you talk over each other, that's arguing, right? So basically, what this guy was doing to me last night was forcing argument on me because I wouldn't let him interrupt me. So, and I'm going to do that every time to anyone every time they do that, okay? And you know how I learned how to do that? Down here in Cancun, I live at a condo. It's kind of like the Seinfeld condominium complex with Morty Seinfeld and all those guys. Like, it's the exact same thing. They even look like the same people and have the same accents. They're from New York and everything. I mean, you get like Canadians and Americans and then all down here. But basically, it's I even forgot what I was saying, but basically, oh, fuck, I just forgot what I was saying. Can someone remind me what I'm talking about? I'm gonna have a toast. I just put my lighter. Well, I'm just gonna find my lighter and have a toke. I'm gonna play "The Earth Is Flat." I'll be right. I'll be right back. Don't deny it. This song is the best ever. Yeah, this is my flat Earth spread here. Let me find my lighter. Hold on a sec. Just give me 1 minute. Did you hear they're saying like, yeah, Houston, we have a problem. Oh. Oh. That was a big one, man. Brad, it's a great question. That's a great question, Brad. I've never actually thought about that, but I definitely can give you my view because, like, when I describe myself as a psychedelic shamanism, specifically, I am a marijuana shaman, 100%. Okay, my dad was an alcohol shaman, right? He was a restaurateur. He was the host of a restaurant, and he made people happy with alcohol. And he would go around talking to them, making them happy, right? So that's what the shamans, the traditional shamans were the medicine men. They were the healers. They were the medicine men, and they were the psychologists. They were the psychologists. When there was people who had a problem, like when the chief's wife would bang like a neighboring town soldier, and the chief would be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like he'd have to go and consult the shaman because the shaman, first of all, would give him counseling as to like, hey, you got to deal with it in this world. There's this and that. You know what I mean? Like if you went to a priest, same thing. So that's what shamans are really. They are an archetypal priest caste. So before religion, who were the priests before religion when people were just sitting around in villages, right? Right? Who were the priests? Well, they were the shamans. And then the last part of being a shaman, which maybe will make a little bit more sense, will let you guys understand why I'm so like aggressive, why I was so aggressive in the debate with the bitch-titted witch, and why I'm using the term bitch tits, and why I call it. Well, first of all, like I said, he brought that on himself. I asked him, to stop talking about my mom in the PM and to leave me alone until the debate. And I'm at home here. And he goes, and I don't even know him. He's a stranger. He goes, no, I like pissing you off. And then he drops like another mom joke and then tells me I look like I got hit in the face with a shovel. Honestly, like, I know I don't look like that, okay? Like, let's be honest, okay? Like, and like, honestly, if anyone looks like got hit in the face with a shovel between me and him, it's clearly him. Like, yeah, out of body. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so my last point is shaman, because I'm finishing the question of what is the traditional shaman, and the traditional shaman is not even traditional. This is what the archetypal. I'll just correct you. Traditional is what the Western civilization view of shamanism is, brought to us through our televisions and National Geographic. So, like I said, it's going to be just a crazy, skinny medicine man with a loincloth covering his dick. Okay, if you're lucky, and that's it. But no, the archetypal shaman is the medicine man, psychologist, the the what, what is it? The medicine man, the psychologist, and like, because you have, okay, and get ready for it, the chief, the shaman were the chiefs of the town. Okay, the shaman were the chiefs. Okay, and not also were the shaman, but you know what that means? That means they were the war chiefs. They were in charge of protecting who dies and who, right, lives between, right. It's like they're in charge of protecting, so they were like the king. So let's get you guys familiarized with the Western version, which is called, let's say it's called Christendom, right? Or England in Europe, in the last 2,000 years, right? Or before, where Christendom is where it's not Islam, and where they've been fighting the war for land, and whatever it is, whatever that's all about, right? In those days, the Middle Ages and all that stuff, right? What would like the shaman would be in those days? You know who would be? Would be the king. That's exactly who the shamans are. The king, King Arthur, King fucking Henry. You know what I mean? These the Viking kings that came down and into England. Oh, what's up, Tony Hall? We're just talking about who shamans are, and I'm saying that, hey, in England and in the Middle Ages and in the kings and queens in feudal medieval Europe, shamans are the kings. Okay, and if you watch, if you watch, well, if you're lucky, you know what I mean. That's why they're trying to kill all the kings, the good kings, and they got the evil kings, and the kings and shit are sorcerers too. They're casting spells and shit. Okay, we're watching the stuff I'm talking about in, like, what you see in Harry Potter, and specifically if you've seen Merlin, the Netflix series Merlin is fucking bomb. Honestly, like, I'm not into fucking like all this hoopla on Netflix with the show. Oh yeah, have you seen this? And like this, like courthouse drama. Like, please, fucking get that out of it. Like, if you guys like, if you ever were a kid and you like this fairy tale stuff about like, dragons and magic, and specifically wizards and witches and dragons specifically, watch Merlin. It's way better than Harry Potter. Honestly, I don't watch Harry Potter. Trust me. Harry Potter to me is bullshit. Okay. Something's going on. She just like lost a fucking lawsuit because it was like there's too much real shit going on. Or no, like no, yeah. She lost a big this J.K. Rowling. She lost a really big, like, what do you call it, like, account, because they're like, oh yeah, no, we can't show your shit anymore because there's real witchcraft in it. Okay, you could actually, it's just new news in the last week. a week or two. KK round, she lost like I don't know, like something like $100 million or something like that account, like half of her income, like the biggest account she has that's paying her, we're just like, sorry, we can't do this anymore because they're Christian or something like that. You know what I mean? And there's like when you look into it, uh, like what she's writing about in Harry Potter is sorcery. Okay, um, Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Okay, Lord of the Rings is good. Harry Potter, like it's interesting stuff and it's creative and this and that, but that's witchcraft. Hello, they're all witches. They're not trying to say they're not witches. Okay, Lord of the Rings, there's sorcery. Okay, so who is Merlin, the dragon killer? Okay, he grows up learning to be a wizard, right? And so yes, this I'm also a wizard, but I'm not studying wizardry right now. Okay, less I know I have a very basic foundation in wizardry, but as far as psychedelic shamanism is concerned, I have probably one of the deepest insights and freshest insights you can get in the whole world. I wouldn't say I know more than a shaman that's been doing it for 30, 40 years. I've only been doing it for like actively doing it for like 2 years, like actually learning by going to into the jungle in the middle of the night and getting high as fuck and scaring the shit out of yourself and puking and, and participating in an exorcism. Okay, so Brad's still not here anymore. Well, who's here? Hey. Brad Green. Let's answer your question here. Okay, it's all the same. Near death. It's not your question here. Near death. I think it's all the same. Near death, out of body meditation, sacred secretion, and psychedelics. Where do you go when you get high on psychedelic medicine? Well, I mean, Brad's saying, near death, out of body, meditation, sacred secretion, and psychedelics. It's all the same. Yeah. Well, that actually makes sense. That makes sense. All right, Tony, who's still here? You guys got any more questions? I'm going to shut her down here. Anyone have any more questions? Rob? Robert Blakely. All right, guys.